Maybe I'm crazy, maybe I'm not.
All right, TJ Houshmandzadeh is back in with us. Thanks for joining us again.
I'm good. Happy to be here.
How was your holiday?
It was good. Spending money as usual.
Yeah,
spending too much money.
I'm with you on that because I'm more of a Thanksgiving person. I did have an amazing holiday season. I think it was because I went to Pittsburgh for Thanksgiving, so I got into the Christmas spirit right away because my mom has every kind of Christmas decoration you could possibly imagine. I don't even know where she keeps it. But as soon as the holiday switches, the whole house is done up for Christmas, and it was a good Christmas, but it's very expensive. Yes. And you have how many kids?
I have 4 kids.
Yeah, so it's very expensive for you.
Yeah. They don't appreciate things. I have my oldest daughter from college, no lie. She got her stuff from Christmas. She put it in the corner. And then 3 days later, the stuff was still in the corner. And I'm like, oh, we might as well just take this back. You really don't want it.
And then she said, no, I want it.
She moved some of it. Oh, well, I'm going back to school in 2 weeks. Where am I going to put it? And so, yeah, it's expensive.
I mean, yeah, it is expensive, but it's the thought, I like getting gifts. I don't like the paying for the gifts, but I like getting gifts for people. Giving gifts is fun. Anyway, so it's Black Monday.
Wow.
And there's been some firings, but the main one that everyone is talking about is Freddie Kitchens. I don't really know what dramatic you can say about it because it's not like we didn't all see this coming for miles away. But I just think Freddie was never the guy.
I'm with you. When he was hired, it was like, wow. They're hiring Freddie Kitchens. It's the way just the way he conducts himself in interviews. It's not like a head coach. He doesn't the things he says and the way he goes about things. The T-shirt. You just don't do the head coaches don't do those type of. So he was learning on the job, and he learned the hard way.
Well, I don't blame him for taking the job.
Oh, no.
He didn't offer the job to himself. If someone offers you a head coaching job and you're a running backs coach or whatever he was before he got promoted to interim offensive coordinator or whatever. I don't even know what happens at Cleveland. But it's not his fault that he was offered that job. He's going to take that job, as he should. But to me, it's just a constant reflection of what Cleveland is, which is just an endless sea of dysfunction. And to me, it always starts at the top. So I don't blame Baker entirely. I don't blame Freddie Kitchens entirely. I don't even all the way blame John Dorsey, even though he is kind of the most responsible for all of this. It's the ownership. Anytime you have a dysfunctional organization for this long, it's not the players, it's not the coaches, because there's new coaches and new players all the time. What's the consistent thing?
The problem is you can blame ownership. And when you do blame ownership, for me, it's the impatience of ownership. And that's where ownership gets blamed is you have to kind of see some rough patches through. You have to see it through. And they should have kept Hugh. They did not because him and Dorsey butted heads. Give Freddie Kitchens more than 1 year, another sign of impatience. And so at the top, they want microwave society. We can put oatmeal in a microwave and it's ready to go in 2 minutes. Things take time. If it's worth it, it's going to take time. And so you have to, at the top, have some patience. You didn't become a billionaire overnight. It took a ton of time.
I don't know how they got their money, but some people do.
I know the owner of the Browns is
the
truck stops, Pilot J or something like that. You see them everywhere. That takes time. And so whatever coach goes in there, it's going to take time. But Freddie, he should have saw this coming and said, you know what? I got to really change the way I'm acting in these interviews. I got to get on Baker's ass and let the rest of the team know that I'll ride Baker. I damn sure will ride you. And so I think that's where he went wrong. Maybe he gets another chance at some learning experience. Maybe he won't.
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't see Freddie Kitchens getting another head coaching job, but at least not until he, works as a coordinator a few times over. But to me, it's just disappointing because I knew better. And, I feel embarrassed and ashamed that I fell for it. Because I fell for it.
I did too.
I fell for it. It's not cool because I know better. And I was raised better than that. And it's just not okay. But the one thing about it though is this is where I struggle. I guess this is where I'm kind of conflicted when it comes to Baker. Because I don't like holding young people to standards that I didn't hold myself to at their age. But I wasn't the face of a multi-billion-dollar organization and getting progressive commercial money either. at that age.
When you're Baker and you have all this money, you know you played a part in getting your head coach hired. You feel like you can't do any wrong. And so...
But, like, don't you have to be more...
You have to be an adult.
Yeah, like, and so, like, again, like, that's where I guess my struggle is, like, does he have to be that if he's really not? Because we're holding him to the standards of his peers. Like, who are his peers? Lamar Jackson, Deshaun Watson is a little bit older, but like Sam Darnold, Josh Allen. Like I'm holding him to the standard of his peers. How do his peers behave? Patrick Mahomes. Like you don't see those guys yelling at fans in the stands, telling them to come down and say it to my face. What does that even mean? What does that even mean? First of all, literally, he's saying it to your face.
A lot of things that Baker has done, it's okay to a certain degree. Like you can interact with fans and talk trash to fans, but you can't, in essence, challenge them to a fight. That's basically what you're saying. Come down here and fight me. That's basically what you're saying.
Where do they do that at?
And so, guys do. I've done that, but I'm not a quarterback. And that's my point. You can't conduct yourself that way when you're the quarterback.
But low-key, we should have seen this coming because that was always Baker's personality.
That's who he is. Like dogs bark, lions hunt. That's who he is. And so he makes irrational decisions, and he's been that way since college.
Yeah.
And so I believe he thought we're going to have a ton of success. I got OBJ, I got Jarvis Landry, I have all these weapons. I'm going to give y'all my personality, and you're going to have no choice but to deal with it.
Yeah, that's kind of what I thought too, but I just thought they would be better while they're doing that. How would you fix the Browns?
You need to bring in a coach that's going to be hard on your best players.
Who?
Mike McCarthy. As soon as he walks in, he's won a Super Bowl. People forget when Aaron Rodgers got to the league, he held the ball up here. He held the ball up here.
I don't understand the hesitation with Mike McCarthy. I don't get it.
Mike McCarthy, when he was in Green Bay, he had Greg Jennings, Donald Driver, Jordy Nelson. He had receivers that one game, one guy would go off. The next game, he knows how to get the ball to players. That's not going to be a problem. He knows how to coach a quarterback, obviously, with Aaron Rodgers. He's been to the top, and he knows what it feels like now to be fired. To me, he's a perfect coach for that job. But if I'm Mike McCarthy, do I really want the job now with Dorsey the way it went last year?
Well, you know, we were talking about this before we started recording. You just got to ask for like 6 years. You know what? Sports are a microcosm of life. And what you're describing is a long-term relationship.
We want an investment, and we want it to grow by leaps and bounds in 6 months.
Right, and that's just not how it works. Okay, so also in the AFC, the Patriots. So the Patriots lost to the Dolphins in Foxborough.
Your Dolphins.
Inexplicably. Yes, my Dolphins. I'm okay with that because it didn't really affect the draft situation anyway. And I really like Brian Flores. The only thing that gives me anxiety is like I can see it on the horizon. Like we're not gonna do a Dolphins topic, but I'm just travel with me. I can see it where they give the organization to Ryan Fitzpatrick, and I'm out if they do that.
They're not gonna do that.
But the Dolphins, they love to do stuff like that.
I had a 1,000-yard season with Ryan Fitzpatrick. I played with Ryan Fitzpatrick. I believe it was my last year in Cincy. Maybe it wasn't, but I played a full season when Carson got hurt with Fitz as a quarterback.
Yeah.
Great dude.
Yeah.
He's a lot older now than he was then. There's no way they do that. Ryan Fitzpatrick is the perfect guy that you keep for a rookie to learn from. How to be a pro, how to be a quarterback, how to study. He's played on so many different teams. He's been in so many different systems.
So many.
He's the perfect quarterback. And he's only making, I think, $5 million next year. And so financially, it's easy. But I really, really, really love the way they lost 43-0, Joy, the first game of the season to the Patriots. 43-0.
Yeah, I remember.
In a turnaround and beat them the last game of the season, 27-24.
Ryan Fitzpatrick is.
They won't do that.
I don't know.
It's impossible.
They've done the impossible before.
Where are they picking in the draft? Is it?
I believe they have 5th or. I want to say.
I'm drafting Tua.
Yeah.
But if I'm the Bengals, I'm trading that first pick.
Am I crazy? All right, so let's just skip talking about the Patriots. Here's the thing. I was not in love with Tua before the injury. So he's on his 3rd injury okay, before he makes it to the NFL.
I'm drafting him.
I can't. Listen,
He's
I
a
just
quarterback,
can't do it.
and sometimes you take chances. And when you take risks, it can be a big reward, or you can
I
fall
don't
on your
think it's
face.
that big of a risk to draft him if you're not moving. Like I'm not making a trade to draft.
To draft him in the top 10 is
the draft is a crapshoot anyway, so it doesn't matter. Every player you take is a risk, unless it's like Chase Young or Andrew Luck or Peyton Manning.
With his accuracy, and he is playing with great players at Alabama across the board. But Jalen Hurts played with those same players, and when Tua got in the game, it was like, whoa, this is what they are.
Why does that get what you But okay, everyone says the same thing about Joe Burrow. Like that's why Joe Burrow's not great because look at who he's throwing to at LSU. No. Like what?
Everybody else except for me.
Okay, so you love Joe Burrow too.
Listen, I love Joe Burrow. I'm gonna answer that question. Yeah, people make excuses for things that they don't like.
Right.
I can make an argument against Joe Burrow, and I'm gonna make an argument for Joe Burrow. He played with great players, and he had a season we've never seen before. When's the last quarterback that played with great players had a season like Joe Burrow? Nobody has ever done it. And so, he played with these great. Justin Jefferson was a 2-star recruit. Was he really a great player? Probably so. He's probably under-recruited, but he was a 2-star recruit. Terrace Marshall was the number 1 receiver in the country. Jamar Chase was the number 2 receiver in the country. He got everything out of him. He's very accurate. When a quarterback is accurate, you have to throw in anticipation, you got to recognize coverage, and you have to throw on time. That's what produces accuracy. Mm-hmm. And he did that. I'm a fan of him.
I just feel like everyone is overthinking
He's had great results with great players. There's been quarterbacks that have less results with equal or better players.
Right. And the same thing, it's the exact argument that people use
to say
that Joe Burrow is not, like, it's not as good as he really is.
And you know what they're going to say,
It's what they say about Tua. Like, is Tua not playing with good receivers?
They're going to say, oh, man, I was wrong on Joe. I didn't think he'd be this good. Really? I mean, Tua's...
Like, what about what you're seeing with Joe Burrow makes you think he's not going to be good?
Tua's receivers are better than Joe Burrow's receivers. From a physical... speed, deceleration, ability to create separation. Tua's receivers are better.
Well, okay, so he's going to go to your Bengals. What does that mean? So are we just wasting our breath right now? Because he has to be that good.
I don't know, and I'm torn because I really I don't root for a team. I was a Cowboy fan growing up. I'm not a Cowboy fan anymore, but I do find myself rooting for him at times. I do root for the Bengals at times. I don't know what to think. I really don't. I believe Carson was one of the best quarterbacks to ever come through the NFL.
Yeah, you love
Because
Carson.
I've trained with every quarterback that's still playing right now that we consider the best. And Carson was better than those guys.
So
and he would
Cincinnati.
never get that credit. And so I don't know. And we were good in Cincinnati, but we were never good enough. And all the dysfunctional things that you guys talk about on TV when I was playing, I thought that was BS. And now that I'm not playing and I hear it, I just refer back to when I played. And I'm like, that. I see what people were talking about.
Right.
But when you're in it, you don't see it. And so I don't know if he can change that, if he can turn that around. I hope he can. I don't want a good player to go to a bad situation and you make all the money in the world, but you're not going down in history as one of the better players. And Joe Burrow has shown,
I know, it makes me sad because
I don't know.
I'm talking all this shit right now, but then I know he's gonna end up going to the bank. My only I'm holding out a small fraction of hope because the Dolphins have 15 first-round picks, probably more like 5, but they have a lot.
If the Dolphins think
say,
that strongly,
here's
about Joe
2
Burrow,
first-rounders and a second-rounder. Give us Joe Burrow. How can you turn that down?
They would be it. Well, when I was playing, the Redskins offered the Bengals 2 first-round picks for Chad. Mike Brown said no. And so it's been done before. Now, if I'm the Dolphins and I feel that strongly about Burrow, I'm doing it. I think he's the best quarterback in the draft. I don't think it's close.
Me either.
I've been saying it since early in the season. And people think I'm crazy, but...
People think I'm crazy, too. I don't get it. I don't understand it.
On that, we're together.
Okay.
We're together.
Because it just I don't know. I don't understand it.
Did you watch the first half?
I did actually watch.
When
the first
have we
half.
ever seen a quarterback do
Literally never, because
Now
as the game
Oklahoma's-
was over, there's like 15
Oklahoma
records that he
sucks,
set.
but I could swear
But
I seen.
Oklahoma doesn't suck.
No, now they suck.
Because
But-
Joe Burrow made
hey,
him suck.
Before the game, what were people saying? Oklahoma's going to challenge LSU. I'm telling you, they're going to keep it close. They were saying that before the game. Now the game's over. It's, Oklahoma. Give the man his credit. He's doing something we've never seen before. He's that good, and just give him his credit. And they'll see how much he meant to LSU next year.
Yeah.
They'll see that.
All right. So he hasn't been fired yet. We're still on watch, right? Jason Garrett's still employed?
Yep, still good so far.
Here's the thing. I've kind of threw this out there earlier, and I don't think it's the craziest thing I've ever said. I've said crazier things. They might not fire Jason Garrett.
I was at the game yesterday. I was in Dallas, and I just was talking to different people.
And
I actually talked to Jason Garrett. I don't know if I'd fire him.
that'd be so good if he doesn't.
I really don't. Like, I just point to one play. Okay, I'll point to 2 plays over the last 2 weeks, and then
Okay.
I'll go to one play in the game yesterday. Like, I was like, why isn't Amari Cooper on the field on that 4th down against the Eagles, right?
Yes, obviously.
I'm like, what is going on? And then I point to a play yesterday. Did you watch the game?
Yes.
You remember when he caught the ball over 2 guys? It was offsides. Dak just threw it up. He jumped over 2 guys, caught it, maybe like the 6. Amari Cooper jumps up like nothing happens. He makes a catch, and he just gets up. No emotion. No excitement.
Yeah, but that's his personality.
Sometimes the dog got to come out.
But
Like-
but not their cat.
And that's why he wasn't on the field on 4th down, because it doesn't matter to him. And
I mean, to say it doesn't matter to him is probably a stretch. He's just not that personality.
You have nephews that play football.
Yes.
You had a brother that's a great player. You ask your nephews first. Don't ask your brother, because his mentality is ask them, if they weren't in the game on 4th down, how would they feel in the game on the line? And they're in high school.
I mean, they'd be pissed.
Of course. And so you got to have that want to, like, I want the ball.
So you're saying basically like they was strategic, and
I'm
it
not
made
saying it was
sense.
strategic. I'm saying that Amari Cooper, as good as he is, he doesn't have the mentality that you have to be here. You have to have that it's me all the time mentality without it affecting it. And then if you don't, somebody on that team got to get in his face and let him know, like, bro, we need this out of you.
So what's your like takeaway from that?
My
as far as Jason
takeaway
Garrett?
is Jason Garrett can only do so much. He's been dealt players that he probably feel aren't fit to do what they need to do. I truly believe Dak Prescott hasn't been paid. So Dak Prescott is not going to get in Amari Cooper's face. And you pay Dak Prescott, maybe now he gets in his face. Once you pay Dak Prescott, now he can probably lead vocally as well as by example. But until you pay him, he can't really get in a guy. Like, I watched that game. He makes that catch, he runs to the sideline. Jason Garrett pushes him in the chest.
Yeah. So yeah.
And Amari's just like, yeah, I made a nice catch.
I know. I didn't like that interaction with the 2 of them. I also thought it was
You
awkward.
have to have some emotion. Like, you have to care. I'm sure he cares about what he does. But it's a reason Oakland got rid of him, because they saw that. There's a reason why in the last 4 games before yesterday, he only had 22 catches when they needed you the most. There's a reason why. It's okay to be greedy at times because you're the best player that they have. And so he's probably going to get fired. But I don't know if I would do it. If Jerry Jones is going to maintain status quo.
Well, that's kind of been my takeaway with this whole conversation when it comes to Jason Garrett, is that say you fire Jason Garrett, which maybe some of the blame of it does fall on Jason Garrett. Like, he sets the tone. Jason Garrett is kind of a little bit like Amari Cooper, not a very excitable guy.
I'm not so sure of that.
People call him the clapper. Like, he's just
Now, he does clap on, clap off. He does do that, but just watching him before the game, walking around, he was getting in guys' face excited before the game.
I mean, players seem to like him and respect him.
And so,
but I just don't. As far as like it being a good coaching job, or as far as anything actually changing, the Cowboys were Super Bowl competitors when you had coaches like Jimmy Johnson Bill Parcells.
They're awful. His winning percentage is better than Bill Parcells. Did you know that? Jason
he's
Garrett
been
has
there
a
for,
better
like,
win percentage.
10 years.
Right. That's even worse. So you might have some bad seasons, and my winning percentage is better than Bill Parcells.
You don't have to force me to say anything nice about Bill Parcells, all right? But the point is, whether it's all Jason Garrett's fault or whether this year it's Kellen Moore's fault, it's never any one person's or particular situation's fault. But I do think that the lack of being able to get to the next level does lie somewhat in Jerry Jones.
100%. It's a we're in this together type of thing. It starts with the top, and Jason Garrett, he takes a part of the blame. He has to. You're the head coach. The defense, the secondary, they're not very good. I don't believe they are. Like, if I was a receiver, I'm not afraid to go against Byron Jones if he's your best DB. I welcome that. Their secondary is not very good.
But do you think that the tone of, like, the fact that the Cowboys haven't been able to level up is because they don't have that dog at the head coaching position? Like, you're talking about Amari Cooper, like, you let the dogs out. Like, what's Jason Garrett doing to what empowerment does he have in that situation?
We
like,
don't
what's
know.
Another
but if
coach
Jerry
gonna
Jones
do?
is still the owner of this team, what head coach is going to have that?
That's what I'm saying. So, like, what's the difference? You might as well keep Jason Garrett.
This is the biggest problem, is you don't have kids. I do. And so when your kids know, like, if I'm on my kid's ass and they're like, oh, I'm going to just go talk to my mommy. That's what they're thinking.
Right.
That's the dynamic of,
yes,
oh, Jason Garrett going to be pissed. Man, I'm going to go down and talk to Jerry.
100%.
So he has to be empowered. I'm not saying he isn't. I don't know if that's the case. But then Jerry, oh, we got a Super Bowl winning team. You really don't.
No.
You really don't. But going into the season, that's all they talked about. So the expectations were here. When the expectations should not, oh, their offensive line is so great. They couldn't do anything against the Eagles. Your offensive line can't be that great if you can't run the ball when you need to the most. And so they've talked so much, but were they really that good?
Every year we have this conversation about them like they're Super Bowl contenders, and they're just not. And I think we've normalized Jerry Jones. I think Jerry has just been Jerry for so long.
Man, Jerry is a star.
He is a star, but that's what I'm saying. Like, he has what he does is not normal.
No, walking around at the game yesterday, he had a woman that followed him everywhere he went. Everybody he talked to, she's taking pictures. He had a line of people waiting to take pictures and sign autographs, and they just have somebody escort him on over. When he walks through the tunnel, he goes and signs autographs on both sides. Jerry Jones is a player.
Yeah, we know that, though, but that's not normal. That's not normal.
Not normal at all. But for Jerry, that's very normal.
Okay, but that doesn't, just because what you do is normal to you does not mean that it's normal to everybody else. And when you look at what the formula for success is, it's not the owner being the biggest star of the franchise.
What's crazy is lightweight. Robert Kraft is like, when they win the Super Bowl, he on the stage with Rick Ross.
Yes, when they win the Super Bowl,
but
not when
these things are glossed
out of
over.
The playoffs.
When you win,
they're
glossed
He's
over.
not walking around the stadium when they need the Eagles to lose in order to make the playoffs doing that.
He was trying to bring the team some positive energy.
No, Jerry is a star.
He's not changing.
Like,
I don't believe he's going to change. To get a coach in there that change the culture, they're going to want power. At this age, you're not giving that up. You're setting your ways. So you might be better off giving Jason Garrett one more year and hoping it works and revisit it next year. I don't, unless you can get Urban Meyer type of coach with a strong personality that's had uber success, who are you bringing in?
I don't know. I thought Ron Rivera might have been a good fit, but I'm with you. I don't know. Well, thank you for joining us again. We appreciate it. I'm glad that we agree on Joe Burrow. We will both be right.
We're going to be right.
Yep, we will.
So you make sure y'all play this clip on the herd, and we're the only two. Oh, I'm not sold on him.
We are the only two who believe in Joe Burrow.
Like, I don't get it.
No, low-key we are, though. Like, I'm half joking because obviously there's other people who think Joe Burrow will be good, but, like, every time people talk about Joe Burrow, it's everybody else gets the credit. But it's like he's just gonna be a good quarterback. Like, okay.
Because they think he's gonna go to the Bengals, and
I mean, if that was the reason, if people were just saying he's gonna go to the Bengals, so I don't think he's gonna have a great career, that I could rock with. But like this idea that he's not, okay, we said it all. But Joe Burrow's gonna be good. Anyway, thank you.
I'm
thank
with
you
you.
for joining us again, TJ.
Appreciate you.